My friend, I'm not supposed to say this because those of us in the biz are supposed to say how wonderful our legal system is, how we may not have the best country in the world, but by God, no, it may not be perfect, but it's the best country. And that is utter and complete crap. Our system is absolutely horrible. From Diddy to rogue federal judges to lawfare, our judicial system sucks. And nobody has any faith in it. And for me to tell you that, oh, no, everything's great is a lie. Is a complete and total lie. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. Please subscribe to Lionel Legal. This is the sister compendium. This is the legal version of what we do, normally at Lionel Nation. And I want to spend some time with you, taking your thoughts and comments, whatever you might think, whatever your wonderful. Fred joins us right now. Fred's a good man. A good man with a big heart who joins us. Today we had a very big day on our other channel, as it were, if you will. I was out and about doing my thing. I was walking about I did a New York walkabout, which is always a lot of fun. People get a big kick out of that. Then we just had another live, and we're just busy. If you have not heard the news, ladies and germs, I'm on overnights on WABC, the absolute important, the critical site of one of the most, if not the most, legendary AM radio stations in the world. It is an absolute monster. And I'm not saying that just because it's true. It's one of those, it's been whatever. It's been the host of, it's been, how do I say this? It's been the host of the home rather of Rush. Rush and I worked there years ago. And I haven't been there since 1998. So it is just incredible to be back there. Anyway, so that's overnight. So I invite you to go there to WABC 77 WABC. Don't forget the app. Use the app. Go and get the app. The app is the most important part. You can get there anytime you want. You can hear what we're doing, and you can hear a variety of lunatics overnight and the like. So anyway, so that's that. Keep you up to speed. Now, I want to start off in no particular order, but I must say this right off the bat because it's been driving me crazy. And I know you don't care about Diddy. I don't know Diddy. I don't care about Diddy. Diddy really doesn't mean much to me. And I don't think that should be the sole criterion for this. But Diddy must walk because they have not shown anything whatsoever that he has even remotely done. In any form of, let me move this over here, in terms of any kind of criminal behavior and the like. Diddy is charged with 3 offenses. Three. You got that? 3. And let me tell you them. Let me remind you of what this is, because sometimes during the course of this, we can kind of forget what happens in the meantime. Number one. Violation of the Mann Act, white slavery, transporting people across state lines for purposes of prostitution. Honest to God. That's an actual, believe it or not, a real charge. Swear to God. Okay, you got that? Okay, good. The next, which is important and critical, we have that. The next one we have is something different. We have a racketeering enterprise. And a racketeering enterprise is not just Diddy putting together freak-offs. It is something else. It is a loosely cobbled, if you will, but a group of people who are a part of a racketeering criminal enterprise. Think of it as a union of sorts, put together that is a part of, think the Gambino crime family. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about Diddy throwing parties together or having freak offs. And whether you find what they did not in any way render it as a criminal enterprise. You see what I'm saying? It did not, just because you don't like him, just because he's a problem, just because his lifestyle and his attitude is one that in no way comports with the way we rational people feel. Where is the evidence of a criminal enterprise? Where is it? Where? And third, trafficking. Force, fraud, or coercion. If I have an organization, let me see if I can say this. If I have an enterprise and I ask women to join me, and I say, I'm going to put an ad out, and I'll say, I'm going to use you, I'm going to abuse you, I'm going to treat you in a debauched level of horror, the likes of which you cannot believe. I'm going to defile you. I'm going to treat you like an absolute. I'm going to treat you with such contempt. It is disgusting. And you say, okay, is that human trafficking? Is that human trafficking? Women who line up, women who take a part of this horrible version of whatever it is that this is, women who do this, do you grasp? Do you have any idea of how horrid this is? How horrid? But they are consenting to this. And we may not understand why they are consenting to this. It may not be something that we agree with. It may not be something that we like. It may not be something, it may be the most horrible thing in the world. Hugh Hefner had women who lined up to be buddies. And the word was, this was pretty raunchy. And they were basically kept as, not slaves in the classic slaves, but they were kept on board or in the command of Hugh Hefner. They were expected to service Hugh Hefner. They were expected to treat Hugh Hefner with whatever this particular attention was. They were basically concubines. It was a concubinal, but it wasn't trafficking. Now, one could say it was. One could say you don't understand. This is force, fraud, or coercion. Anytime women involve themselves in this type of behavior. Do you think it is? I don't. I think there are some women, I'm sorry to say this, I think there are some women who actually can make up their mind where they say, I want to be a part of this. There are people who went out of their way to be a part of the Diddy event. There are people who went out of their way to be a part of this, whatever it is. They really did this. Again, I don't like him. I don't understand why they do this. Diddy has to walk. He has to walk because of the fact that what he did is not a crime. You may not like it. It may absolutely tear at your heartstrings. It may be so antithetical, so antipodal to everything that you believe. You might say to yourself, this is horrid. What I'm telling you, what I am saying to you, believe it or not, what I am saying is something very, very simple. I am saying to you that this behavior in no way is something that should be the business of the government. This should not be the business of the government. Now, I don't know why. You're asking the question, why do you think they did this? I don't know. I mean, I can give you some pithy reasons. I don't know. Why do you think Elon Musk and Donald Trump are pretending that they're mad at each other? What is that about? Can you tell me what that is about? Does anybody know? I don't know. I don't understand this. I'm glad that they're able to divert the attention and distract attention from the left. The left doesn't, they don't know what to do. I mean, they don't know what to do on their TV shows. They don't know what to do with anything. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. So I love that. And I think it is a work. I think it is one of the most contrived, one of the most beautifully put together constructs that you have ever seen. Let me explain something to you. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are not people you would normally meet. You don't know them. They don't. How do I say this? They don't. They're not people that you're going to want to meet. They're not people that you are going to meet. They're not. They're not. And one of the things that makes them, interestingly enough, who they are, I find interesting, is the fact that they are of a mindset that you have never seen. And I am telling you, and I want you to understand this, and I want you to pay attention to me. They are of a mindset that you don't understand. See this. Just a minute. I'm sorry for that. That's very rude of me. Forgive me for that. That's very, very, very rude. But I digress. They live in a world we don't believe in. They don't. I want you to imagine that you have every single thing you want. I mean, every single thing you want. And you have things at levels you don't have to worry about. Not only do you have a lot of money, there's no end to it. So money is not something you worry about. So you go to the next step. And you want to know about legacy. You want to know about perhaps maybe it's almost on a sexual matter because he devours people. I would not be surprised, and I can't prove this, but I would not be surprised if Elon had more kids than you would ever imagine. I would not be surprised if he had some kind of a weird fantasy kind of siring where he wants to sire all of these children and to be a part of this. I don't know this. I would not be surprised if he had a very serious drug problem. We've heard about ketamine and the like. I wouldn't be surprised if you took that and he had his own behavioral issues. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. He's also on the spectrum, as we have said, and he lives in a world that is just, I don't know what the word is. Nothing that we've ever seen. Okay, put all of this together. Do you think it's for money? Money, yes, is power. People love the business world. They want to close on a deal. Sam Walton and the Walton family and Warren Buffett, they don't need the money, but they enjoy the game. Do you believe for a moment that Donald Trump never told him or that he did not know about the EV exception from the legislation? Come on. Do you really think that's true? Do you really even believe that's even possible? No. That's ridiculous. So what are they doing? It is what we call in the wrestling business a work, ladies and gentlemen. It is a work. It is a contrived, how do we say this? It is a contrived way of thinking. Now, our good friend here, let me go back here. I like our good friend here. Just a second. Let me go back. Here we are. Our good friend, Wendy. Wendy says, Diddy is going to prison for life. Wendy, I thank you and I welcome. Would you tell me what evidence you have heard. Perhaps the maybe you know something. By the way, the latest is that Combs' ex-girlfriend resumes testimony. Ex-girlfriends are sobbing. He's a terrible person. Terrible person. And I want to go to our dear friend who is so nice to be a part of this. Her name is Wendy. Wendy, first of all, what example, what have you heard regarding evidence of transporting women for purposes of prostitution, where men or Diddy will engage in them, basically traffic in them, pay for them, charge. But what evidence have you heard from that? Anybody? 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 Anybody at all? I'm curious, and we'll wait for this. What evidence of prostitution, getting these women, bringing them. Now, if you're not crossing state lines, remember, you have to be. If they're all in New York or California, maybe you might want to use kind of a wire fraud theory. But what have you seen of Diddy doing that? Nothing. Nothing. Now, let me stop right there. Let me go back to, we talk to our good friend, Wendy Taylor. And by the way, Trump will not be pardoning Diddy. This is a sexual matter. This is nuts. This is nuts. No way. No way. No way. So, Wendy, any evidence of that? No. Next, this is important. Where is the enterprise? This is important. Kayfabe is right, Christine. He brings these parties for himself, just like Hugh Hefner did it. Involved people like James Caan was there, and Bill Cosby and others. Was he into trafficking? No. Was it forced fraud or coercion? No. There were women who were trying to get in there. Cassie, for all of the abuse she went to, she was saying she got into the freak offs. Where is the evidence of that? There is none. There is none. Anybody at all? Anybody? Wendy? Anybody? Any evidence? Maybe you know more about this. And as far as, so no human trafficking, no criminal enterprise, and no transportation. So what do we do with that, dear friends? What do we do? Do we say, well, he's just such a dirtbag, we'll fill in the blanks? No. Then we're committing basically the crime. That's it. That's the problem. And that's it. And lawfare is a problem. We have federal judges who are acting to invalidate an event or a statute, whatever, nationwide, as opposed to between those parties. If you bring a lawsuit against the federal government claiming that you have been improperly removed, extradited, arrested, if you claim some form of, I don't know, I guess you'd say due process violation or what have you. The question then becomes, which is very, very critical, what should I do? Well, the judge would normally say, as to you and your party and your case, I'm going to find the following to be as to you. Your claim for a due process violation, Fifth Amendment violation, and the like have been violated, 14th Amendment. You have perhaps maybe civil rights. So I'm going to deal with this. And I might say, as to this particular immigration office or this particular immigration procedure or this particular platform or setup, as it applies to you, I am going to rule that. As opposed to everybody in the United States, everybody is now going to have this particular program shut down or closed down nationwide. Does it make any sense? Does it make any sense? None. And aside from the fact that these are the most biased people and should have been recused from the beginning. Do you understand that? Now, let me also talk to you about the most important. Let me ask you this, and maybe our good friend Wendy can tell you. What is the biggest issue right now in this country that faces? What do you worry about right now? The immediate problem. Because I worry about AI and AGI down the road. But what's the immediate problem right now? What is it? What is it? I'll tell you. It is Ukraine. It is Russia. And it is Vladimir Putin, who may say, you know what? I've had enough with you. And I've had enough with NATO. And we have told you our red line. And in Russia, according to Pepe Escobar, who does a wonderful job. By the way, I hope you saw my interview with Colonel McGregor on the Lionel Nation show. Make sure you're subscribed here to Lionel Legal, Lionel Legal, Lionel Legal. It's very critical. And we must have likes. We must like this. The likes are critical because we need to put this into the HOV lane, so to speak. But Vladimir Putin is going to say one day, all right, I've tried it. I'm going to show them something. And I might initiate, I'm not going to necessarily incinerate, all of Ukraine, or regarding those countries that are involved in manning and setting up the security and the procedures and the logistics for these attacks on Russia. He may very well say, I'm going to teach you a lesson. And I'm going to introduce and show you what it looks like to have a low-grade tactical nuclear weapon at your disposal. And I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to show you what to do. And I'm going to show you exactly that you are not going to be kidding. And by the way, his Russians are saying, are you going to do something or not? Because up till now, and this is important, up till now, Vladimir Putin has always said, always, and the argument has always been, when he says something, he means it. When he says, I'm going to be involved with something, he means it. And that's the most important thing in the world. He means it. He means it. That's what scares me. And AI and AGI, oh, forget it. That's another story. Why is Lindsey Graham doing anything? Why is Lindsey Graham speaking on behalf of our country? Why is he deliberately sticking a thumb in the eye of the Russians? What is he doing? How are we allowing this to even happen? That scares me. So we have a lot to be concerned about. And I'm not saying this just to be, just to sound like Steve Bannon or whatever. By the way, was doing great, and now he wants to deport Elon Musk. No, stop it. Sometimes these people love to say things just to get the attention. They love to go too far. It's one thing to say, I'm against Steve Bannon. They'll say, and we have to deport him, and he's wrong, and he's crazy. It's like, okay, stop it. Stop it, for the love of God. So in any event, my friends, that's what we're looking at. I got to tell you something. I always want you to know how much I appreciate your being here on this Friday Eve. Let me remind you, I am now on WABC. Overnights, Monday through Friday. I'm off tonight, Monday through Friday, overnights, 1 to 5 a.m. And it is it is the biggest, most powerful, it is the number one talk radio station, bar none. And it might be the number one. It beats others. You will not believe when I tell you the ratings of people like Hannity. Who's that one? You know what I'm talking about. They replaced Rush. Nothing. Not here. That is so over. I thought, I don't know, Hannity? No way. I looked at the numbers. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's a whole nother world. And WABC is a blowtorch. So anyway, so check that out. Go to 77 WABC or WABCradio.com or get the app. Go to WABC and get the app. Okay? You understand that? Great. So then, my friends, we remind you, Lionel Legal. I want you to have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be talking about. Follow us here. Follow us at Lionel Nation. Got a lot to say. I got things dropping left and right. You never know. But make sure you are subscribed because I may one day, like I normally do, just pick up the phone and say, you know what? We're going to go walk on the Hudson River. We're going to walk over here. We're going to go to the west side. We're going to go to Central Park. We're going to move around. We're going to perambulate and locomote. And you've got to be a part of this to understand it and to appreciate it. All right, my friends, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your participation. Have a great and glorious weekend. See you soon. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. That there.